Hey everyone. The most awkward place to be arrested at, or the most inconvenient, has to be on a plane. Cause think about it, what are the odds that in the perfect golden window of time where when you board on the plane and before you take off, you cause something that forces the crew to call the police or call security to literally take you off the plane to not be a hassle anymore. The worst I can think of is arguing with someone else of how much room you can have, or the overhead department to put your bag. But even then, I can't see how that would warrant you getting violent or loud enough to have the police come on the plane. And plus, I feel like most people that go on a plane have two reasons for it. They're really stressed and they have to go to work and it's something really important, or they're going on holiday and they really don't have any hassle. They just want to relax and sit back for a bit. But if the beginning of your holiday starts with you flying out somewhere, then I can't think of a worse start than boarding on the plane, putting on those things that cover your eyes so you can sleep peacefully and have the pillow around your neck, and then just hearing behind you someone yelling at someone else, where then it goes on for more than 30 seconds and the employees have to come in and try to calm them down. But even then, that doesn't work. I've never been in that situation, and I'm not gonna jinx it, and I just can't imagine how much it would suck, because there are times where if the person's being really annoying and they just won't cooperate at all, it can last for God knows how long. Where then it probably goes to DEFCON 5, where even the pilot has to announce to people that they have to get off the plane and go to a new one, because the person literally won't get off themselves. The only thing you can salvage from that disaster is if the person, shouting and screaming, it has crackhead energy, where they're literally being so chaotic, you have to admire how the passion behind it. And I'm grateful I could find this one TikTok where the person recording it just wanted to fly somewhere, but then they had to get off the plane and wait for the next one or the next day potentially, which admittedly sucks. But the video that I recorded while on the plane is so good. I'm confident to say that the positive energy that came from it definitely outweighed the hassle and annoyance for everyone on the flight in this video. If you haven't seen it, it just looks like a normal, plane arrest with a person, fidgeting around in this small, tuna can cramped plane where there's no room, and they're trying to be dragged off by someone else, but they won't comply. But the one differentiating factor that makes it special, to me at least, in my heart, it's just the raw passion behind it, where you see every feeling going through her head just from how expressive her face is.
Let this go! Can I do that with freedom? All I care about is freedom.
You're under arrest.
That's fine. I've been there before. I'm not scared. I've been there before. This nigga's hurting my elbow. He's hurting my wrist. You're hurting me, Sheriff. You're hurting me, Sheriff.
I have no idea what the context was, if she was arguing with an employee or with someone next to her where she didn't have enough room. But from where this video starts, she's yelling so hard, it's already impossible for me to even discern what happened or what led to this point in time. Also, I'm pretty sure those officers there that was trying to get her are actual local police as opposed to security from the airport, which that must mean she got so aggressive or fidgeting so much that the security couldn't handle her and they had to bring the actual police to come and take care of her, which must have taken longer because you don't see a police station literally next to an airport, so God knows how long they drove just to get to her. But the feeling I got from her, it's some theater kid trying to be really expressive, where they have one final project for high school and they want to they want to show the potential and talent to everyone else, with how expressive her face is, the dread and the joy all being portrayed in her eyes as well. Oh, and I know for a fact she got the hair, so whenever something like this happens, she can move her head as much as she wants, because that style makes her head look way bigger, so when it's spinning all over the place, it looks more, threatening. And I love that one person, FaceTiming her friend or a family member, and you can see on the top right, their reaction, and they look so shocked. But it's that one perfect moment where you see something crazy, but you're miles away from where it actually happened, so you can just sit back and enjoy. But from the lighting, you can definitely tell she's on her bed, just relaxing, so to her, it's watching a show on Netflix. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there's multiple parts to this, because from what I could find, there's 4, unique parts where I'm guessing the guy had to stop because he saw that was the end of it, but then it kept going, so he had to start a new part again. So now moving forward to part 2, which I really like, because out of nowhere, she starts yelling at one of the employees, but she does it more creatively, where she starts freestyling, and to be fair, it's not that bad.
I don't like the pressure. I'll give all these people the space they need, but this sad bitch is a bitch. This sad bitch is a bitch. This sad bitch is a bitch. Shut up talking to me, Richard Gere.
That just goes to show that if you repeat the same thing 3 times, any small rhythm that lies beneath can grow more alive the more you do it. Like, that fat bitch is a bitch. Like, it rhymes good. I'll give it to her. But apart from that, I do have to skim over a lot from this second part, because out of nowhere, she starts talking about like her nephew, where it goes on for quite a while.
Everybody's gonna have to wait until my crossover from my nephew feels better on my ankle. My ankle hurts from my nephew crossing me over in Arizona. So, you facetious niggas.
I'm not gonna lie, when she wouldn't shut up for that moment, all I can say about like her nephew just looking like a mini clone of her, where just like the exact face structure, except like maybe wearing a hat to signify that he's a kid. And again, I really want to point out like how much her hair does for like her cracked energy, because when he was shaking around really violently, Jesus Christ, it really felt like Eric Andre that one bit. But for him, that's a character he's playing. This is someone that lives their entire life. Like, he's probably like maybe 20s or 30s. So he's lived 30 years having this kind of energy instilled with her. It's like the difference between, you know, Batman and Bane, where Batman adopted it, Bane, you know, had this cracking energy with him all this time. Which, by the way, I don't feel bad for saying that so much in this video, because as you realize now, one of the hashtags in the TikTok is hashtag Vegas. So that probably explains like 80% of this lady and where she's probably heading in life. I can also tell you where the officer's heading, because from his face, you can tell he wants to bash her head in so badly with his baton. Thankfully he didn't, because now we have a part 3, which I really like as well.
It's so cute. I love it. Don't touch those. No.
That's it.
Hey, record.
We think you hit him. Yeah, that's assault. Yeah. You just assaulted an officer.
I smiled so much when I heard that one guy in the background, like, you just assaulted an officer. Man, that made me so happy. That I was glad to know, like, we had Saul Goodman on the flight, you know, just stand as like the legal advisor. Okay, now that I think about it, if he was on a flight, he would definitely take her side and not help the police at all. She really does feel like a character from Better Call Saul, with that one part where like, I'm not scaring anyone, we're all scared in general. But let's be honest, we all had the same idea that within the first 10 seconds of seeing her face, she was most likely in the mind space to just bite someone's face off.
I wasn't gonna go. I didn't scare anyone. The people are already scared. It's Congo and Palestine.
I really appreciate her childlike energy and attitude, with the one part like where she makes fun of the officer being like, I don't want to go to jail, fatso. Unironically, she's probably the first person in like 20 years to say the word fatso to someone else. Also, I'd like to point out, I really hope that Ryan Garcia then in the background could just stand up, just punch the shit out of her. I would like that personally. Okay, now we're moving on to part 4, which, you know, is a climax of the story. Because one of the officers said, you know, this is your final warning.
This is my final warning. Please, exit the airplane.
I know, that's why I called you, because I knew you would love
Get
it.
off the airplane. We can talk about it.
It's
But right
literally,
now,
I'm just trying to make your day today, Mom.
then walk
Why are you
out.
doing that?
Then walk out.
Then let me do that. Why are you acting like I'm a rascal? And when you let this go?
I'm really glad that one cute remark made the crowd laugh, you know. That was probably a good change of emotion for them from just being annoyed at her. Sadly, whatever joy they got out of her is completely ruined, because when the police want to grab her, you know, get her off, one guy like slightly touches her neck and that just like flips the switch in her head, and she starts going more ballistic, shaking even more and yelling louder. And you can see in her face the one neuron in her brain that made her compare herself to George Floyd, because in her mind she probably thought like that was the best way to immediately make all the crowd turn on the police and, you know, save her. But then that just leads to the best part of this series, where everyone just yells at her, you know, shut up.
Why are you talking? I can't breathe. Why are you touching my leg? Why are you touching my leg? I can't breathe. This is George Floyd.
Get off the plane.
that definitely diminished any chance of the crowd feeling better for her when she just pulled George Floyd out of her ass to make her seem like the victim. And you know what? I will say it did end on a strong note, for me at least, and not for anyone on the plane, because like, it got so bad and probably took so long that even the pilot had to announce to everyone that they had to get off the plane because they literally could not handle her.
I can't breathe!
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we will need everyone to
Ladies and gentlemen, I can't breathe!
deplaning the aircraft.
I'm
We do have to I am so sorry for the
These people are
inconvenience.
terrible!
Just stay by the boarding area.
I love how she tried to make a last stand by painting the police as the real enemy and just saying sorry. Like it's their fault why they had to get off the plane, you know, not hers. But I can definitely tell that everyone in that plane wanted to cut her head off because she was that annoying. And even though like this few parts, like 4 parts, it's like maybe 3 minutes long if you put them together, it probably took like maybe an hour or even more of her just yelling non-stop. I would also like to point out that you can hear a baby yelling in the background, which is pretty rare in an airplane, but maybe even the children could recognize how irritating she was, and they all, you know, got her together to just be quiet and just focus on her just because she was that annoying. So after that part, they probably got on, you know, on a different plane somewhere else, where she was just by herself and the police, which kind of sucks. I really liked, you know, the few minutes I could see of her on screen. I wouldn't mind seeing her again somewhere else, like maybe on a bus causing a ride again with someone else for like the dumbest reason ever. However, I will admit I am a hypocrite because even though I would love to see her on a video again or TikTok, I know for a fact I would be one of the most annoyed people in the crowd if I was ever like stuck with her on some vehicle where you can't get out, like a plane. Because if it's out in public, you can just walk away, like maybe take a picture to like reminisce later in the future when you're an old man. But if you're stuck in that vehicle, like a plane, for however long they were in that one moment, any joy or laughter you could have gotten was probably ruined by just not only having to wait that long, but also having like your flight plan ruined and having to get on a different plane. So I should probably shut up to make sure an event like this or similar doesn't happen to me in the future. Or even though I'm laughing at it, I would hate to be in that moment in the present, you know, just living it.